What is up, everybody? I've finally gotten my build that I'm like really excited to share with you guys, ready to the point where it's not like a Willis build that's not complete. And I'm really happy with this. I've done a lot of theory crafting. It's not perfect. There's room for improvement, but the basis is here and I can really show off what it has to offer. This is a non-Eagle Bearer assault rifle clutch build, utilizing 3 of the new talents that are in the game and taking advantage of some new synergies, and I love it. It is awesome. I've got a couple different variations to share with you. My favorite so far is with the FAMAS and using fast hands and extra. I know fast hands, people are probably thinking, what the hell? Fast hands? Well, it's actually really good. Critical hits at a stack of 5% reload speed, and it stacks to 30. That means you can get 150 reload speed if you crit 30 times. It's amazing. I almost always have at least 20, which is 100% faster reload speed. It brings my reloads down to about a second. It's amazing. I love it. It's really good. I can't stress it enough. The other version I'm going to share with you is what I would recommend for PvP, or if you're not using clutch, or if you just want more burst damage. And that is a strained version with extra. I've tried these both with Allegro, and as much as I like Allegro, it's just not worth it. Having those 10 extra bullets makes a big difference, and I think extra is the way to go with the FAMAS, unfortunately. As much as I loved it with Allegro. But the strained extra is really good. This gun's not quite as good as my fast hands one. You know, it's missing 1,200 damage on it, which is a decent amount. It's not perfectly even to compare the two. And I'm also going to show you Eagle Bearer's damage. I'm going to show at the end of this. First, I'm going to go through the build. I'm going to show you guys a little preview of what the gun can do first. Then I'm going to go through the whole build. And then I'm going to compare the fast hands with the strained. And then compare it to an Eagle Bearer with headshot time to kill and body shot time to kill. Because I think both of those are important to factor into a, overall all-purpose build, which I'm going for with this. I think this is a fully all-purpose utilized build. It's not generally for like one specific thing in the raid or one type of farming. It's just a great all-around build. So now that you've seen the FAMAS, the next gun you might be thinking, why the hell is he using a Merciless, not a Nemesis? Well, they buffed this gun. Not only is its RPM, I'm not shooting this gun, I'm using it for brutality. While holstered, landing a shot has a 5% chance to deal 100% damage as explosive damage. This actually ends up being more than 100% damage because, say you hit for 100,000 and this procs, it's hitting for more than 100,000 because it's double dipping talents. It double dips some of your multipliers, which is pretty cool. I think on Reddit, someone was calculating that this adds at least 10% damage overall to a 60-round mag. And I'm not sure what the actual calculations are, but it's pretty good. But that's not the main reason I'm using it. Not only does it, proc the explosive, add some damage, it staggers enemies, but the main reason is it procs this new talent on the backpack called Spark. I'll get into Spark and everything, but what this does is damages enemies with skill, or damaging enemies with skills or explosives, grants 15% weapon damage for 15 seconds. Let me just show you here. When I shoot this gun, I can guarantee you, very quickly, I'm going to have Spark in my buff bar down below. There it is. And it refreshes. So, as you can see, really quick, let's wear it off here. Let's do some body shots. You're going to see that it procs a lot. It procs a lot. There it is. There it is again and again. And again and again. It's crazy. So it's a permanent uptime. As long as there's enemies, you have Spark up all the time. And Spark's 15% weapon damage. That's awesome. This backpack, the reason I'm using D&H is because of the mask. I called it a helmet, but it's actually a mask. This is the new Punch Drunk named mask. It's the only mask that can get perfect concussion, which is a new talent. Headshots grant 20% headshot damage for 2 seconds, 5 seconds with marksman rifles. They refresh. So if I shoot a headshot, you can see the little buff thing. If I shoot another headshot, it refreshes. So I have 2 seconds to get more headshots. And as long as I can land another headshot, even if there's a couple body shots involved, as long as I get another one within those 2 seconds, I've always got 20% headshot going. The only way you can get this talent perfect is on a DNH mask. This rolled really good. I farmed today the DNH area for the targeted loot, and I ended up getting this with 21,000 health, and I was able to roll my 55% damage to elites attribute to it, and it still has 23 more recalibration score. So potentially, I could find a 30,000 health and roll it to a 55%. So that's what I'm looking for. I'd like to get a 30,000 health and roll this. It was originally a yellow talent. If you didn't know, guys, you can now recalibrate colors. So this was a yellow-blue, and I turned the yellow into damage to elites. I found this within a couple of hours the first day. It was an Araldi's mask, and it's normal now. It is not abnormal to find higher than 50% on a regular basis on Araldi masks. So this is the mask. And because it's DNH, I decided to switch up to 3-piece DNH instead of 3-piece Wyvern. They're very similar. It goes accuracy, crit damage, crit chance. Wyvern goes 10 crit chance, 7 crit damage, so you're giving and taking 3% of each. And the reason I changed is because of this mask and this backpack. So Wyvern backpacks can't roll red mod slots. They're always yellow. DNH backpack rolls red mod slots. So we gain the red mod slot there. I'm running assault rifle damage, weapon damage, and damage to armor in this mod. It's not perfect, but this is a great mod right here. The backpack, I have Spark and Vital. Vital's 25% health. That helps add my health that I have. Unfortunately, it's an armor roll. So this is a wasted blue. Preferably, this would either be health. You could get, 15 to 25,000 on this backpack, fairly easy. And I would have, around 9 weapon damage. What I'd like to have is like 9 weapon damage and 10 crit chance or 12 crit chance with, 15 to 25,000 health. You could also put crit damage here. That could happen. You could do it all red. So weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage if you don't need the health. I don't need the health right now, so it's potential that I could get one, triple red there, and I'd be happy with that. So overall, great backpack to look for right here. Chest piece. I have not replaced this. I'm planning to replace this. I need to farm the Dark Zone to get the perfect Fenris chest. The perfect Fenris chest drops with perfect Berserk. Berserk got nerfed. The perfect one is 12% for a total of 60%. This is 8% for a total of 40 when your armor is depleted. It's a Stridsvast. It's only obtainable in the Dark Zone, the new named one. I forget what the name is, but it's the Fenris Stridsvast named thing. And you can farm for it. It always rolls Berserk, and it always rolls the red mod slot, but the passive talent and the attributes are random. So it's something that's going to take a while. Okay, someone's telling me the perfect is 10 now. So I was told it was 12. So sorry if I'm wrong there. I haven't found it. I was originally told it was 12 and linked that it was 12, but apparently it is actually 10. So scratch that. I'm not going to edit it out of the video. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing here. Let me look at this chart here. Let's see. Perfect Berserk is... I don't see it, but hey, I'm going to believe the guy in my chat right now that's saying it's actually only 10. But that's still really good. And so yeah, scratch that. But that's what I'm after. This chest here has really high health, 50,000. I don't need that much health on this chest. I could do a 25,000 here, and I would much rather have this weapon damage much higher. But this chest has a lot of room. It's only at a 93 recalibration. It can go to 150 now. So I could find a chest that rolls decent crit chance, that rolls decent weapon damage, and have 50,000 health or 30,000 health. So that's up to you guys. You could also have Vital here instead of hard hitting and swap that with your backpack. doesn't really matter, but I recommend having vital and hard hitting between these two. Gloves, these are straightforward. You can now get 13% assault rifle damage on gloves, but you want Alps gloves. Clutch, obviously, so that you can, face trade and be reckless and just be out of cover doing damage and, or be exposed. I shouldn't say out of cover, but be exposed, dealing damage. And for the most part, even in heroics, as long as you have aim and can land your shots, you shouldn't be able to die. You shouldn't die unless you get sniped or blown up. Or if there's like way too many enemies, you got to be a little bit careful. But as long as you're landing your shots with the rate of fire of the FAMAS, clutch should keep you alive. Just make sure when you have to reload that you hide. Which leads me to the other reason I like fast hands. Fast hands saves you from the worst problem of clutch, which is reloading. If you run clutch, you're going to know the times that you die is because you're reloading, because you can't heal. Not only can you not deal damage, you can't heal when you're reloading. And the faster the reload, the more you can get back into healing and damaging. So pretty awesome. Obviously, you want Alps gloves because they roll that red mod slot. And yeah, basic there. Holster, same thing. Didn't replace it. Right now, I'm just running a Wyvern. I don't know if there's a better option here. Potentially could run like a Gila holster, but I like this because it gives me the 7 crit damage. I got 16 crit chance on it. You could run precise. You could also run crit damage here if you're not going for headshots. I've contemplated doing that rather than running this headshot. I've thought about actually running the crit damage talent. I don't think I have it in my inventory, but I do have one that I could roll to 16 crit chance and then use the 15 crit damage talent. You could also use 5% weapon damage. It's up to you. Or you could use one of the other talents. I wouldn't really recommend them, though. And obviously, red mod slot from Wyvern. You could go Gila, and you gain the 2 red mod slots, but I don't think it's worth it myself. And then the final piece is the third piece of DNH. To top off the 3-piece set, you want to put, crit chance on there. And then the new talent, Composure. While in cover, it grants 10% weapon damage. This is amazing. This is good for assault rifles, sniper rifle builds. This is what I'm going to use like in a lot of builds here. However, on my rifle build that I just did, I went with Entrenched because I'd rather have health sustainability, being able to do more damage like without hiding instead of 10% more damage when the build didn't lack it. But it's a great talent, really, really good talent all around. I definitely don't miss putting damage to elites on every slot. Like, a lot of people are really sad and complaining about their builds being nerfed and how damage to elites is like blah, blah, blah. But, man, it's so much more entertaining and interesting to put together a build with all the synergies and the new stuff and not have to use it. And I will tell you that my build is stronger after 2 days than it ever was after months of farming for, the clutch build that I used to have. This version is stronger. And that's about it. Skills, those are completely up to you. I've been using Defender Drone and a Hive. You can run, the Reviver Hive, but there's a new one. When I've been leveling up, when I've been doing control points and stuff, I've actually been using the new subclass. Right now, I'm using Sharpshooter just because of the stability. It's not really needed. You can use whatever class you like. But the new Technician subclass is pretty cool. It's got this new Artificer Hive, and you can just equip it, and it will keep your Defender Drone from dying. It's insane. It just keeps you don't even need to use the skill. I don't know if it's bugged or what's going on with it, but you can give it a try. Just have the Artificer Hive on, have your Defender Drone out, and as long as you never hit escape and go into your menus for too long, that drone won't die. It's crazy. So I'm really enjoying that, using it while I'm leveling up the class. But you could use, Sharpshooter for the stability. You could use the Demolitionist for out of cover damage. You could use whatever you want. It's totally up to you. Now we're gonna get into shooting this thing. Let me just show you how awesome this gun is. It's really, really awesome. All right, guys. Just had to pause my video. The lawn maintenance guy came. So here we go. Let's refresh this. We're going to do this without damaging self. Just a regular headshot kill. We're going to kill it 3 times. If you guys haven't seen the new shooting range, it's amazing. Shoot those to determine the range that you want it. You can damage yourself. You can reset your skill cooldowns. And even more importantly, you can change the difficulty of it right here. It's awesome. Amazing. Makes a really big difference. So now these things don't die in a few bullets. They actually take some time to kill. That reload speed, though. So this is like real DPS right here. 3.3. Pretty awesome. I missed a couple of shots there and dropped it, but man. It shreds. It dropped down to 3.1, but I can average 3.3. Now let me show you body shot time to kill. This is something people don't really test, and I think it's actually an important thing to test because we don't live in a perfect world, and it's not like body shots are not uncommon. This is where you really see that reload speed shine. So we're sitting around like 1.2-ish DPS. That's pretty awesome. That's really, really good damage. The reload speed, like, I'm able to just constantly keep damage output. It's awesome. Now, so we went 3.3 and I'm going to say 1.2 by rounding it up. We are going to go to the Eagle Bearer now. Let's use an Eagle Bearer. The great thing about the Eagle Bearer is it's always max rolled. My FAMAS is not max rolled. It's close, but it's not max rolled. Now, the downside with the Eagle Bearer here is we will not have spark going. I can make it go, and I'll show you that in a minute here, but we'd have to use something like a assault drone, and actually, I'm not even going to show that. I'm just going to show it without spark, because realistically, I don't think you're going to have spark going regularly unless you're throwing grenades or something. So, here we go. Let's get some ammo. Let's do the Eagle Bearer damage. Already, I noticed that the FAMAS fires better than this thing. I am having to correct my aim quite a bit. It's pulling to the left hard. And am I seeing this right? I am. This is only 2.3. 2.4 million. So that is almost 1 million DPS lower than the FAMAS. That's a big difference. Now, keep in mind, Eagle Bearer also has, tenacity. Now, part of the reason why that is lower is because I didn't start with tenacity. I feel like it'd be unfair to start the damage test with the buff. That's why I kill numerous targets. It's not just one. Now, if I start the damage with tenacity, let's look. It's at 2.4, but realistically, you're not going to start your DPS with tenacity up. You're going to have to earn it first. If you start with it up, that brings the DPS, to a better state, but still, it starts dropping back. It's back to 2.4. So, that's crazy. I'm really, really shocked at how well this FAMAS is performing. Now, here's where it really gets interesting. Body shots. Let's do body shots with the FAMAS, or I mean with the Eagle Bear. This is where the reload speeds and the talent of it not kicking in from a headshot kill, this can be, you know, a thing. Killing Chungas. Chungas don't count for headshots until you break their helmet. It's considered a body shot until then. So I like to test both. I like to test my body shots and my headshots. This is where you see that reload speed really start to hurt it, since we're not getting tenacity off. We're getting like 820 DPS. Let's kill this last target and see. A little bit less than 820. We'll call it 820. Now, let's go back to the FAMAS. Now let's reset this. Here we go. Man, it feels so much better to shoot this gun. That reload speed. This is so much more enjoyable. The sound of it, the speed of it, the handling, the reload speed. So 1.2 million. That's a big fucking difference. The FAMAS is winning in every single aspect. And that is awesome. I know a lot of people are going to rejoice that you can actually make a build without an Eagle, but there's also going to be a lot of people really pissed because they nerfed the Eagle Bear. But if you have tenacity up, the Eagle Bear is not nerfed. It's actually better because you gain that 15% that they nerfed back onto it because they actually buffed the tenacity damage buff and they made the damage reduction better. So they actually buffed Eagle Bear as long as you have tenacity up. Keep that in mind. Now, let's shoot the strained version. The strained version is that awesome. Let's actually damage myself first. We're going to damage ourselves and test this out with Berserk. Headshots with Berserk here. This is the fast hands version still. We're going to kill 2 targets. $2.9 million. So last time I was at 3.2 after killing a few targets, but that's strange. I don't know why it is so low after only 2. But let's go to the strained version now. Here we go. $3.5. 3.3. So I'm not quite sure why. Maybe I got lucky with some of my DPS tests with the explosions the last time, but with only 2 targets, this does usually go up the more targets you shoot. It gets more consistent. But yeah, as you can see, Strain does more burst DPS. It's going to be better in PvP because as they're shooting you and you're shooting them back, your damage is going up. It can win the fights. I also don't think fast hands is worth using in PvP because if you landed enough shots to make a big difference with fast hands, they're likely going to already be dead, and you don't really need that crazy reload speed. But in general use, I think fast hands is where it's at, and I just absolutely am loving this build. I think I covered everything. I hope you guys have enjoyed this update as much as I have. I'm really liking these new changes in the, what's it called, shooting range. It's amazing. I love these changes. If you want to see, let me just show you what it used to be like real quick so you can see how fast this shreds the old targets. It's a little bit ridiculous. But I'm really liking this. Let me know what you guys think of the build. What would you do differently, if anything, other than having, you know, what? Invulnerable? I didn't know you could go to invulnerable. That's cool. Huh. You can actually make them not be able to die. That's really cool. Interesting. That's cool. I just learned something new. Like, they just melt. That's the old shooting range there. But you can't really get a very good DPS test there. That's why it's really nice that you can up it. Invulnerable would actually be a really good way to test. Now that I know that, I'm gonna start using that in my videos. But this video's already gone long enough. I'm not gonna bore you with some more testing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You can craft the FAMAS, by the way. I don't know how you get the blueprint if you already have it. I already had it, so I've been able to craft a bunch of them. Crafting materials, you're getting tons of them. There's way more capacity. There's so many great changes. You can target farm. I'm sure you guys know most of this, but like you can target farm the loot. Every day it changes. It's awesome. I'm loving almost everything about this update, and I can't wait to, you know, dive deeper into it and find new builds. So thank you guys so much for watching this. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Comment, like it. Let me know what you think. You can also check me out live, Twitch TV/Inigo Montoya. And maybe I'll see you around. Thanks for watching, guys.